Welcome back to The Explainer. So, look, everyone wants the prestige, the high status title, and of course, that shiny $200,000 base salary. But today, we are unpacking the ruthless reality of what it actually costs to trade your absolute best years for that massive paycheck. We've kind of been conditioned to think these elite jobs are the ultimate finish line, but the truth is far more complicated and a whole lot more expensive than you probably think. Because really, what is the true price tag of a 200K salary? I guarantee you, nobody is mentioning the unspoken physical and mental toll in the job description. We're talking about stress-induced hair loss, grueling 80-hour work weeks, and the grim reality of your kids calling the nanny mom while you're grinding endlessly under fluorescent lights in some corner office. Is it actually the dream, or is it just a golden cage? To get why this happens, we've got to talk about something called the high-income trap. It's basically this vicious cycle where massive salaries are completely consumed by lifestyle creep, crushing debt, and the heavy macroeconomic pressures of maintaining your status. These so-called dream jobs, they're often just high-stakes biological and financial traps. You make more money, sure, but the system demands you spend more just to look like you make more. You upgrade the car, you buy the bigger house in the right zip code, and suddenly that huge salary is barely covering your monthly minimums. To break this down today, we're going to play a little choose your character. We'll look at the elite professional, the entrepreneur, the digital creator, and finally, revenge of the NPC.
All right, let's jump right into character one, the elite professional. Think investment bankers, big tech, and corporate law. With these gigs, the underlying mechanism is basically a direct trade. You are handing over 100% of your autonomy for a massive base salary. And on one side, the high is absolutely electric. You get the prestige of a top-tier firm, the first-class flights, the exclusive dinners, and that intoxicating feeling of being completely essential to the operation. But man, the come-down is brutal. We are talking severe burnout, skyrocketing divorce rates, and a terrifying decline in physical health. It's like a powerful stimulant. This high-pressure environment supercharges you with adrenaline and cortisol. You feel invincible hitting a quarterly goal, but it's literally stealing energy from your future self, leaving you with this dense brain fog that no amount of caffeine or weekend sleep is ever going to fix. Which brings us to a frankly staggering number: 90. That is the actual number of hours spent working or just agonizingly thinking about work every single week. In these elite roles, your mind is never truly off the clock. Even when you are physically sitting at home, mentally, you're still at that desk, checking emails under the dinner table, just anticipating the next fire you have to put out. So, if you want to pierce the illusion of this lifestyle, you've got to calculate your true hourly wage. Seriously, take your massive base salary and divide it by those 90 agonizing hours a week you actually dedicate to the firm. Do the math on that, and you might realize you're making less per hour than a successful freelancer who actually gets to go home at 5 p.m. and hang out with their family. The prestige and the flashy title kind of blind us to the basic underlying math of our own lives. Moving on to character two, the entrepreneurial gamble. Now here, you're tossing stability completely out the window for a gamble. And the high is the ultimate dream, right? A massive $2 million buyout, a winning product that takes the market by storm, absolute validation after years of quiet failure. But the price? Wow. There is zero soft landing here, literally zero. It is intense psychological exhaustion. You are actively sacrificing your 20s, watching your friends buy nice things, take vacations, enjoy their weekends, while you risk hitting absolute rock bottom on a venture that statistically, it might just fail. The entrepreneurial path is a really long, grinding onset of delayed gratification. Year one, you kiss the guaranteed paycheck goodbye and step into the unknown. By year three, the romance is completely dead. You're surviving on instant noodles, black coffee, and sheer willpower, wondering if you made a massive mistake. But year five is the turning point, and honestly, your ultimate countermeasure, becoming one of one at a specific skill. Instead of constantly chasing viral side hustles, you hunker down, you specialize, you build an undeniable moat around your abilities, and only then can you realistically reach year seven, the cosmic lottery win. It's a marathon of extreme patience, definitely not a sprint for quick cash. Okay, let's look at character three, the digital hustle. This is all about the top 1% of digital creators on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or OnlyFans. On the surface, the high is completely insane. You've got creators like Sophie Rain out-earning NBA players straight from her living room. It looks like free money just for being yourself on camera. But the come down exposes this terrifying fragility. It is a total loss of privacy. Your entire life becomes content. And worse, you have this complete dependency on opaque internet algorithms. You are literally one algorithm tweak, one shadow ban, or one bad week of engagement away from total irrelevance. Because what the feed hides is the Olympic-level digital hustling happening behind the camera. To survive and stay in that coveted top 1%, you have to constantly manage branding, do nonstop fan engagement, and yeah, sometimes even master emotional manipulation to keep people watching. You exist in a never-ending state of performance. It's deeply exhausting, invisible labor required just to stay relevant before the internet collectively shrugs, gets bored, and moves on to the next big thing. So, the vital countermeasure for anyone entering the creator space is a strict, disciplined, two-step process. Step 1. Use your platform as a megaphone, but never, ever treat the platform as the business itself. The platform owes you absolutely nothing. Step 2. Funnel that attention to build assets you actually own. Email lists, software, physical products, you absolutely have to leverage the temporary spotlight to build a real business off-platform long before the algorithm changes its mind about you and shuts off the faucet. And finally, Character 4, Revenge of the NPC, or the Silent Grinder. Now this is my favorite plot twist, the person who completely ignores those flashy $500,000 salaries. On one side, we have the high flyer. They are making bank, but they're buying sports cars, racking up massive debt, and falling victim to extreme lifestyle creep just to keep up appearances. On the other side is the NPC, the non-player character. They wear discount rack clothes, practice extreme budgeting, and work a steady, unassuming job. They willingly pay the price of 20 years of being the strong, silent type, dealing with a fair amount of boredom and seemingly missing out on all the immediate fun. But just watch how this long game plays out when they both hit age 40. The contrast is wild. The high flyer at 40 is totally trapped. They are burdened by heavy debt and completely dependent on their next high-stress paycheck just to keep the lights on and the leasing company happy. The NPC at 40? They are debt-free. They are mortgage-free. And their investments are spitting out enough cash to literally buy their absolute freedom. By using immense discipline to bypass the high-income trap, the NPC completely flips the script. They win the long game by acquiring the one asset the high flyer never could, time. So bringing it all together, the true cost of modern success is a brutal combination of the biological mechanisms of stress and the macroeconomic traps of status. Every single high-paying path we've looked at today carries a chemical and financial toll that is never, ever listed in the job description. True success isn't about feeding the system, guys. It isn't about burning out your adrenal glands just to look wealthy to people you don't even like. It's about making calculated, highly intentional moves today that actually buy back freedom for your future self. Which brings us to a final question for you. What is one high-paying career you would never take, no matter how big the salary was? Seriously, think about the biological toll, the lost weekends, and the sheer invisible exhaustion we covered today. Drop a comment below with your answer. And hey, make sure to hit subscribe because we are going to keep debunking these myths of modern success in our next explainer. See you then!